Hello there. Today I will be talking about the whole book approach. The whole book approach is a read aloud model that engages learners to gather clues from illustrations. Readers actively engage in the artwork from cover to cover. This model is important because learners use their schema to gather information as to what they see and are able to share their ideas out loud. There are no right or wrong answers in this approach. Time, size, and orientation, jackets and covers, end papers, front matter, typography, and page design are key elements to whole book approach. The first book I chose to analyze and discuss is The Very Last Leaf, written by Steph Wade and illustrated by Jennifer Davison. It was published by Capstone Editions on August 1st of 2020. This book is a book that connects to one's social and emotional learning. Even the biggest and brightest leaves on a tree worry and have fears. This book will show how the main character, a leaf, conquers his fears of failing and defeats the senses of worries. He overcomes a journey in which he thought was impossible from the very beginning. The second book I chose to analyze and discuss is Brown Bear, written by Bill Martin Jr. and illustrated by Eric Carle. It was published by Henry Holt & Company on September 15th of 1996. This book also is a 2014 E.B. White Read Aloud Award winner. This is a book that is very repetitive on what you see on each page and the next. The author and illustrator have things like a big green frog, a purple cat, a blue horse, and many more colorful and bold animals throughout this picture book. In this video, I will be providing high-quality examples of whole book approach examples. The first approach of 6 is time, size, and orientation. This is the shape of the book, why the book is shaped the way it is. When a book is about a person or about a thing, it tends to have a portrait style. If the book is about going on a journey, the shape tends to be the landscape view. The next approach is jackets and covers. Jackets is when the book's front and back cover portray the same picture. It wraps around the book and continues. A cover is when the front and back are two separate pages. It doesn't wrap from front to back. The third approach is end papers. End papers are the page right inside the cover. This page gives us clues as to what the story will be about. We often ask ourselves, why do we think the artwork was placed on the end papers? Or what is the author hinting at? The next approach is front matter. Front matter includes information about the author, publisher, copyright, order, and the tone of the book. The fifth approach is typography. This means how the words and sentences are laid out on the page. Are some words bigger or smaller, or are some words straight or curvy? The layout of the words on the page is what this is about. The sixth and final approach is page design. Page design is how the page itself is laid out in terms of illustrations. Some pages will have whole page layouts, meaning they will stretch from one page to another. Others will be half pages, two separate pictures on two separate pages. In this video, I will be comparing Brown Bear, and The Very Last Leaf. Let's begin. The first one is time, size, and orientation. Brown Bear, we can see that this book is about different animals and what they look like, so we get the portrait style view for the cover. In The Very Last Leaf, this book is about a leaf having anxiety about a test he is about to take and his journey through his emotions. It's about himself, so we see in this one that the cover page is also portrait. So comparing these two books together, we can see that both are portrait view instead of landscape view. The next one is jackets and covers, and I picked the same two pictures to demonstrate this. This Brown Bear book, the book has a cover front page. This is because there are two separate pictures on the front and back side of the page. It does not wrap around. So in the pictures we see here, we can tell that the front page is the front side of the bear and the back page is the back side of the bear. And that is where we get our cover look. For the very last leaf, this book is a jacket cover. The front cover and the back cover is the same picture, and it wraps around the sides. We can see that the tree on the very left side starts to wrap around to the back, and the back is the continuation of the tree. The next approach is end papers. For Brown Bear, this book has a very colorful end paper. The end page shows all the colors that will be discussed in the book. It sets up the story for the color scheme. So we can tell that in the book there will be some brown animal, red, yellow, blue, green, purple, white, black, and orange animals in the book. As for the end papers, for the very last leaf, this book's end paper is a light blue and has some swirls on it. We can assume that this book is going to have some type of wind or air movement. With the color of the page and the design, this also helps the story set up. So we get that feeling that there's going to be some change in the story, whether he starts scared and he ends on a positive note and isn't scared anymore. And we see that shift in emotion. The next approach is front matter. So like I said in the beginning, Brown Bear is written by Bill Martin Jr. and illustrated by Eric Carle. It was published by Henry Holt and Company on September 15th of 1996. And the whole book is asking the reader what they see on the next page, what that next animal sees. So the tone of the story is curiosity, wondering what's going to come next and what color it's going to be. For the very last leaf, it was written by Steph Wade and illustrated by Jennifer Davison, published by Capstone Editions on August 1st of 2020. The tone of this book is very different from start to end. It starts off very lighthearted and sad. He's anxious about this test, not knowing where he stands. And then as the story progresses, it changes into inspirational and successful. We see that even a star student, a star leaf in this case, can be anxious, can be worried, can be, he questions things in the beginning, and then as the story progresses in the end, it comes into this lighthearted, inspirational, we see the change in his emotions and feelings. The fifth approach is typography. For Brown Bear, the words on the page in this are the same. They have the same size font and text throughout the whole story. We see common repetitive words throughout the book that lines up with the same words throughout each page. So our example here is the purple cat. So it says, purple cat, what do you see? I see a white dog looking at me. If we look throughout the whole book, the color in the animal would change, but it would be the same format. So if it was the goldfish, it would say goldfish, what do you see? It's all set up the same 3 lines, same 3 stanzas. As for the very last leaf, the words on the page are smaller when the narrator is talking and explaining what is going on. And then the text, however, gets bigger and bolder when the leaf, his name is Lance, talks, or if another friend of his, another leaf, talks. This kit helps kids to understand the differences from when the narrator is talking and then when the person or object themselves is talking. So in this example, we see that the narrator is saying, but Lance couldn't trick them for long. As leaf after leaf passed the final test, they started to talk. And then we see that these bigger words stand out, and these are different leaves talking. He's a scaredy leaf. I guess he's not good at everything, and he's too yellow to be an evergreen. The last approach is page design. In Brown Bear, this book has a whole page layout. Each page, the animal is very big right in the middle of the page, and then the front half of the animal is on the left side and the back half of the animal is on the right side, or vice versa. So we see writing on each page, and we see the animal spread across the whole page itself. On the very last leaf, this book is also a whole page layout. Each time you turn the page, the images on the page are shared. Half of the illustration is on one, and half of the other image illustration is on the other side. So throughout this, we saw that time, size, and orientation of this book and page design are two of the elements that are the same, and jacket and covers and papers, front matter, and typography are different. However, both books are very useful, stand the same ground. We can compare and contrast all 6 of these approaches in both of these books. So here's my reference page of the 2 books that I analyzed in the Reading Picture Books with Children's Book. I encourage each and every one of you to read more books with an open mind and think about the whole book approach. Thank you for learning and analyzing with me today.